Hey, everybody. As many of you know, the Clark County Council received a mini initiative that demands a vote on a new ordinance which would make mask and vaccine mandates in Clark County illegal. It would apply equally to every public agency, nonprofit, and private business within the boundaries of Clark County. Now, I've received a lot of questions about this mini initiative. So in this video, I'm going to answer some of those questions. The first one, wait, what? COVID cases are surging in Clark County, the hospitals are full, and the Clark County Council is talking about removing public health mandates around COVID? And the answer, unfortunately, is yes. In the Clark County Charter is a mini initiative process, and that process allows a small percentage of voters to force your county councilors to consider any ordinance, regardless of what that ordinance says. They got the signatures, and the process is now underway. So by Clark County's law, this council must have a hearing on the ordinance and must take a vote. The second question, does the proposed ordinance violate state law? And the answer, quite possibly, and maybe federal law too. Counselors are waiting for more information from the county attorney about the legal implications of this ordinance. But the general consensus so far among lawyers and generally well-read community members is that this ordinance is a mess, and it would put the county and all of the businesses and agencies within it into conflict with already existing state and federal law. Passing the proposed ordinance could threaten much of the county's state and federal funding, and not just our public health funding. Roads, public works, housing, behavioral health, environmental services, all of the COVID money the county's received, and more. All of these programs received state or federal funds. And if Clark County goes against state or federal orders, those funds may be at risk. Another question, what specifically is wrong with the ordinance? Well, there are many factual errors and misrepresentations in the actual text of the ordinance. But what it gets down to, the real problems are the unreasonable demands it would make on every resident and business within Clark County. Every single one of us. Whether you're for or against vaccines or masks or mandates, this ordinance will infringe on the very freedoms it claims to defend. First, and related to Clark County's government specifically, the ordinance would put our county government in immediate violation of state laws related to the Board of Health and proximate violation of rules related to all kinds of state and federal funding, like I mentioned earlier. If we had to return the tens of millions of dollars of federal relief money we've already spent, guess what? That money would have to come from you, the taxpayers. Second, if enacted, this ordinance would bring harsh penalties on private businesses, individuals, and public agencies. It could mean that an individual business that wants to keep their customers safe would not be able to require masks on their own private premises. That's a direct harm to businesses. It could mean that schools, which are currently under a state mask mandate, would have to close in order to comply with both state and county law. That's a direct harm to our kids. It could mean that a hospital or health clinic would have to violate county law in order to not put their federal status and funding in jeopardy. And that is a direct harm to both patients and caregivers. Which gets to the third point. This ordinance is so far outside the bounds of state and federal law and basic principles of good governance that it's essentially unenforceable. And it doesn't address who would enforce it, the county sheriff? But if the proposal becomes county law, we are all stuck with it until another unnecessary and expensive lawsuit reverses the county council's vote. And however long that takes, we won't be able to make up the ground lost and the funding lost in the interim. For those who are concerned about government overreach, this ordinance should have you on high alert. And the last question, what can you do about it? Well, until further notice, Clark County is still a representative government. So what you can do is make your voice heard, not just talking to each other on Facebook and not just grumping to your spouse. The hearing for this ordinance is at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, February 1st. Send county councilors email messages or postal letters and sign up to testify during our online remote meeting. In the post, I'll include links where to send emails and how to sign up to testify. What you can do is this. Tell the council how making mandates, even for private entities, illegal and coming into conflict with state and federal law would affect you, your business, your family, and our community. Thank you.